Hi, I'm John Beckett, Druid, priest, and writer. Like many of us, I learned tarot for divination. I've experimented with some other systems, but I mainly use tarot because I get good results from it. Over the years, I learned to use tarot for meditation and as a focus for magical workings. Wherever you are in life, there are cards that can represent you and your situation. They can represent your goals, your dreams, your plans, and your methods. These cards can be used as a focus for visualization, energy work, and other magical operations. You can use just the cards in your own will, or you can incorporate them into a larger working with candles and stones and herbs, with invocations and offerings, or with whatever else you use in your magical practice. I learned tarot for divination. But over the years, I've come to use it more and more for spellcasting. And the more I use it, the better results I get. And now I'm happy to introduce the 12th online class from Under the Ancient Oaks, Tarot for Spellcasting. It starts January 29th and runs for 4 weeks. I hope you'll join me.
So let's talk about the goals for this course. Our main goal is to learn to use tarot cards as a foundation for magical workings, to use those archetypes and energies and all the things that are associated with the cards, with their images, to as a foundation for working magic. And as we do that, to refine our ability to turn dreams into goals, goals into plans, and plans into action. So much of magic is about selecting the right target, figuring out what you really want. And once you figure out what you really want, figuring out how you can get from where you are to where you want to be. Some of that's going to require magic. Some of that's going to require ordinary effort. It works better when you do them together. And when you do, you can create the future you want, whether that's big or small, whether you want a simple 4-card tarot spell to help you out of a difficult situation you're in at the moment, or if you want to create a series of spells to try to build a whole new life, big or small, this is how we do it. This course isn't everything, may not be what you have in mind. I want to make sure everybody understands what it is, what it isn't. This course is not the fool's journey. There are lots of people who will work through primarily the major arcana, start with the Fool card 0, work all the way up through the 22 cards for the major arcana. There's a step-by-step plan for spiritual development. It can be a very good thing. This isn't that. This is using tarot as a focus for magical workings. It's not divination. Got a class on divination? This isn't it. It's not a deep exploration of the cards. If you want those things, take Course 8, Tarot for Divination. We cover divination in depth. Spend 6 weeks going over the cards. Obviously, in a course this short, I can't go into do that deep dive into the cards. And if what you want really is more depth in magic, take Course 3, Operative Magic. This class is on using tarot as a focus for our magical operations. Who should take the course? Well, it's intended for pagans and witches, people who have a magical worldview, a spiritual worldview. But anybody with an open mind is welcome. If you're an atheist, a non-theist, even a materialist, there's things in here that you may find helpful. Not gonna I'm not going to change the class um, to speak directly to those people, but you may be able to get something out of it. A basic familiarity with tarot is a plus, but it's not required. You don't have to be um, a highly skilled tarot reader to take this. Again, it helps to be familiar with the cards, but there's many ways to get familiar with the cards, and working with them in magical operations is one of them. And also, no second sight is required. I still see people who insist that if you weren't born with the gift, you can't read tarot. And that's simply not true. Almost anyone can learn to read tarot and read it well. I have about average, maybe slightly above average natural psychic abilities, but I've been studying tarot for a long time, and I've gotten to be quite good at it because I practiced it. Um, so can you. So what's in the class? Well, there are 4 modules. Actually, there's 5 modules. So we start here with module 0. This module here, that the introduction. Our first module are the foundations, magic and the tarot. We're going to do a deep dive into magic, deep dive into tarot. If you've taken course 3, course 8, some of this will be familiar, but we need a foundation of what do we mean when we talk about magic? How does magic work? And how do we make it work with tarot? Module 2 is meditation and visualization. Of all of the magical techniques that can be used, these are the ones that are most useful with tarot magic. Designing a tarot spell. How you make a series of cards represent your who and what you are, where you want to go, how you're going to get there, um, how you set that up, um, how you um, how you begin the process of putting your visualization, your energies into that to manifest it in the ordinary world. Module 4 is about effective tarot spells. How do you make them how do you make them more effective? How do we look at some larger tarot spells, not just 3 cards, 4 cards, 5 cards, but 15, 16 cards, if that's what's needed. We'll conclude the course with a video Q&A. If you've taken classes with me before, you know I usually mix the Q&As in during the class. For a course of this this short, I think it's going to be better to put the Q&A at the end. So after you've taken all 4 modules, you've worked through it, you've got your questions. Now we'll sit down and answer them. And of course, you're always welcome to ask questions at any time we're working through, but this is where I'll take your questions, turn them into a video, and release it in just like the other modules. So 4-week class, I see 6 lines here. I have 6 videos to make. What tarot deck should you use? Well, I mainly teach from 3 decks. The Robin Wood Tarot was the first deck I bought over 30 years ago. Still get great results from it. I use Waite Smith sometimes. I've been using Celtic Tarot a lot since it came out a few years ago. There are several different decks called Celtic Tarot or that sound kind of like that. I use the one by Christopher Hughes. And when I did the Tarot for Divination class, I said you have to have one of these 3 decks. For this class, I think you can use any deck you like. That said, I strongly recommend you use a deck based on the Waite Smith system. It's just going to be, you're going to have to do less translation. If you don't have a deck, get one of these. If you've got a novelty deck, get one of these. But at the end of the day, if the deck speaks to you, if you resonate with those images, um, you're free to use it. You've taken classes with me before. The format will be very familiar. There are weekly videos. They're on demand, meaning that you do them when you want to do them. Typically, they come out on Thursday mornings. Um, if you want to do them, a few people do them on Thursday mornings. A lot of people do them over the weekend. You don't get to it till Monday or Tuesday, that's fine. Um, there are so many good teachers out there who teach live classes, and it seems like my schedule and their schedules never match up. So when I started doing class, I said, I'm going to make my classes on demand so people can do them when they want to do them, when it works for them. There will be examples in each module, at least one example in each module. It's not just going to be theory. I'm going to walk through some examples of tarot spells I've done, am doing, so you can see what it looks like. There will be weekly homework. Um, you got to practice. Um, you got to practice. And I'm also going to be in each of the four modules, I'm going to be recommending some long-term practices, some things I'm going to encourage you to start doing and keep doing even after the class is finished. Some things that will be helpful in your spiritual growth, in your growth as a tarot reader, as your growth as a witch, as a magician. Um, these are some practices that will help you. And yeah, start now, keep doing them. We will be using the Under the Ancient Oaks Facebook group. It is a secret group. Only members can find the group and see who's in it and what they post. If you're not a member, you can't find it. You got to tell me. It's easier if we're already Facebook friends. So send me a Facebook friend request. Send me a private message. Tell me who you are. Um, request access to the group. Um, and request access to the group, and then you can be a part of it, part of the conversation. It's a good place for questions. I'm happy to answer questions, but hey, sometimes your fellow students have better answers than I do. Place for conversation. It is one group for all of the Under the Ancient Oaks class participants. So you've got people there who took class 1, class 2, all the classes that we've had so far. So it's not just the people taking this class. I don't think there should be anything that would be confidential for this class, but not for other classes. Um, there is, let's talk about it. But yeah, it's for all class participants. If you took Class 8, there is a Under the Ancient Oaks Tarot group. We're not going to use that for this class. I want to keep that group focused strictly on divination and interpreting the cards in readings, not for working magic. You don't like Facebook? You don't like Facebook groups? You don't have to do it. It's completely voluntary. Some classes, the conversations in the Facebook group are really good. Some classes, they're not so good. No idea what this will be like. It will be what you make it. Cost. This is a shorter class. That means I have less work to do to get ready, which means I can charge less for it. Cost of this class is $50 for the entire class. I prefer PayPal. I can take Venmo. I can take Zelle. I can take credit cards. You're going to have to email me all that information, card number, expiration date, zip code, CVV code, that you're not supposed to do. Some people don't like doing that, and I don't blame you. Um, never had a problem with it. Doesn't mean that that an email won't get intercepted somewhere. But I can take credit cards if you want. Other forms of payment, um, I'll do my best to if you want to pay me, I'll do my best to find a way for you to pay me. There were no scholarships in course 11 for reasons we discussed in that course. We are returning to scholarships in this class. A limited number of scholarships are available for people who are experiencing financial difficulties. If you need this class, something you think would be helpful to you, and you just can't swing $50 right now, apply for a scholarship. The more paid registrations and sponsorships I get, the more scholarships I can offer. For previous classes, y'all have been very generous, and I have gotten a fair amount of sponsorships. If you're doing well, maybe you want to sponsor another student. Each sponsorship fully funds one student, and it counts as a regular registration toward the number of scholarships that I fund. If we run up against the limit, priority will go to previous Under the Ancient Oaks students. Application deadline is January 24th. Our schedule, January 12th, Module 0 is released, what you're watching now. Registration opens. Scholarship applications are accepted. January 24th is the deadline for scholarship applications. January 26th, I will inform all of the applicants. Yes, I can fill your scholarship request. Sorry, we ran out of slots. January 26th, just Thursday, January 29th, Module 1 is released. And then there will be 4 weekly modules plus the video Q&A. You'll notice I normally do Q&As on Tuesdays, but since I'm doing this one at the end, and since I've got some stuff going on about that time, we're going to move the video Q&A to Thursday. If you have questions, you ask, I'll do my best to answer. Whether they're questions you have right now about what's in the class, you're trying to decide if you want to sign up or not, or during the class you have a question about something we discuss, or it's 2 years later and you're just now taking the class, or you came back to it, you have a question, I'll do my best to answer. Response formats varies. I'd like to put as many questions in the video Q&A as I can. I do my best to answer questions by email, so you don't have to wait on the video Q&A. You may want to ask the Facebook group, particularly if it's something where it's something more tangential and I may not be the best person to answer it. Occasionally people ask questions and I start writing them and they end up as a blog post. I like those. I'm always available to answer class-related questions. Classes on demand. If it's 2027, 2028, you're taking this class, you have a question, send me an email. I will do my best to answer. That said, I don't do casual conversation. Don't send me a link and say, hey, read this and tell me what you think. I don't do that with my close friends. Yeah, don't do casual conversation. But class-related questions, do my best to answer. Ready to sign up? Send an email to john@undertheancientoaks.com or use the contact form on the website. When you do, I will send you a PayPal invoice. When that's done, I'll register you for the class. Expect a 24-hour turnaround. If you catch me and I'm sitting at my computer and I'm not terribly busy, the registration can be done in a matter of minutes. If you catch me when I'm traveling, it may be a day or two. Expect a 24-hour turnaround. We will certainly get all of the initial registrants registered before the class starts on the first run. This is it. Um, I didn't invent tarot magic. I didn't invent tarot for spellcasting. People have been doing it for a long time. But over the past few years, I've started doing this more and more often. It's quick and easy. It forces me to spend my time figuring out where I am, what I really want, how I'm going to go about getting it. Um, magic works best when it's specific. Vague targets yield vague results. Specific targets yield specific results. This method has really helped me focus in on just what it is I'm working magic for and just how I'm going about it. It's been very effective. If it works for me, it will probably work for you. And I'm happy to walk you through my method of tarot for spellcasting. Hope you'll join me for the class.